here primping in the camera, talking to myself. Peace and blessings. This is Trigger to Transform. Oh, y'all, let me, I've been messing up my number, so I just want to go back and get the correct number because it's been a ride, right? But welcome back to today, and we'll find out what our number is today. And I'm gonna start over, y'all. Okay, y'all. We are at day 42. And excuse me, very, very, very I think my voice is tired. Okay, so pardon me. It's week 7. This is week 7 of this 90-day journey. Okay, so we are a few days away from our halfway point. Okay, so congratulations for being here. Congratulations for continuing to do your personal work as we develop ourselves. Okay, so week 7, boundaries as decolonization. Today's day 42, and we're talking about boundaries versus control. And our practice today is going to be to set one boundary. That's it. Set one boundary. So the last week we talked about our communication in week 6 and how we wanted to really show up and not shrink and really be aware of how we're standing in our presence and our vocal, nonverbal, as well as verbal bodies, right? In order to do that, it comes with some sense of these things are not allowed around me. A lot of times when we start talking about boundaries, we start to think that it's basically walls that we've set up so nobody can get in. That's not a boundary. Boundaries are guidance systems. How's that feel? Boundaries are guidance systems. Write that down. Write that down. And just take a moment to ask yourself, how do I feel around setting boundaries as my guidance system? How's that feel inside of your body? Not that I need to bring up these walls of protection around me. I am guided and protected. I am divinely guided and protected, right? I bring in religion to this conversation on occasion, not because I'm a religious person, but because I know a lot of people are, right? And we set our lives up, or have set our lives up, around religious boundaries, right? Right? We have these beliefs like we don't do this and we don't do that, and my religion doesn't allow this, my religion does. What if you are able to do that for yourself? If you become the epitome of what it is that you believe in your spiritual world, right? Because I believe that that's our ultimate guidance system. And then there's things that are more human driven, right? Like you can't smoke in my car. That's a boundary. But what about, I do not allow negativity into my space. And when I see negativity, this is what I do, right? Because it's not about controlling the outside. It's about what you internally. And you can't see my hand, but imagine. Okay, internally. You are not, let me say this in a way that is going to be heard. The control belongs to you. But there's so many things that we're not in control of. Other people mainly. This is not a way or strategy or technique or tool to control people. This is a way for you, us, me, you, to be in a space that allows our nervous system to be at ease. That's what we create our boundaries for. If you can imagine like a maze, it can't go that way because it's cut off on the end, because you can't take a left or a right turn there. It's just the way that it's set up. And it's our responsibility to first navigate our own maze, right? And through navigating our own maze, we think of it like the aspects of our lives. There's things that we've run into that we didn't particularly care for inside of our experiences. Oh, take notice. What is it that came up for me? Where did that land inside of my body? Right? It's not about me controlling this person, but I get to control my experience. I don't like that. What do I need to do about it? Right? And I want to use so many examples, but you pick one in your world, get in tune with it, right? That's why I struggle with giving examples, because that's not the only perspective that this thing applies to. This is really about you doing your work and finding out where it does not work for you or what does not work for you. Okay? So what boundary do you need to communicate without shrinking, to let those around you know, like, this doesn't work for me? I appreciate you, right? Because we're not going to over-explain ourselves either. I appreciate you. And this is how I choose to move through situations like this in order to protect. This is how I choose to move inside of situations like that. Period. Put a pin in it right there. Okay? So what boundaries can you establish, can we establish in our lives that keeps our nervous system at a point of regulation? Where can I go back in my experience to this occurrence, this thing that's happened, and say, okay, that I let that happen that time, right? It's about taking ownership. I allowed that, and now I didn't like the way it felt in my throat when I couldn't speak my mind. I don't like the way my head pounded when I was put in a position of chaos or whatever it was. I feel that in the pit of my stomach every time I have to. My lower back is really throbbing after this. So what do I need to do? Who do I need to become? What part of my evolution is ready to show up so that I can experience peace? Now that's the other piece of this puzzle. What is that? What is your ultimate goal in your reality? What is it that you really want to experience? Right? I have to set up certain boundaries inside of my life because I want to have a financial experience that is remarkable, right? I don't really have a desire to be rich. I have a desire to be in luxury all the time. And my luxury is going to look different from anyone else's. But what boundaries do I need to set up within my financial stratosphere that allows me to experience the luxury that I deserve and desire? Not based on what Yves Saint Laurent says, not based on Gucci, I'm not interested in any of that. That's not luxury to me. There's a luxury of my time, my space, and my freedom that I will not let go. And I have boundaries, strict boundaries set up, that if people come into my world that do not align with my level of luxury, okay. But just know that there's only so much access that you have to me. Right? And it's not it's not money wise. It's energy. I'm very I'm very aware of the energies around me. And everyone around me knows that. And the minute the energy shifts, they know Toya, Goddess, is going to say something. No, okay. Or Goddess is going to be gone. All right, y'all. See y'all later. Have a good one. Love you much. But that's my personal boundary, because I believe in having a luxurious experience in my spaces. I believe in safe spaces. And when spaces that I'm in are not safe, I step forward to make sure that those spaces return to a homeostasis of safety. My personal boundary. Okay? My mother, personal boundary. Don't put your hand in her chip bag or whatever. Do not stick your hand in her stuff. You can pour it in your hand, but that's her boundary. And if you do it, guess what she's going to do? You can have that. Sure as now. No, take it. No, you can have it. Boundary, right? This is simple. She's had to go through her own maze to come to that thing, right? Somebody did that to her. She didn't like the way they licked their fingers, put it back, whatever it was. She knew right then, right there, I can't take no chances like that. Where can't you just take that chance? I'm not willing to be uncomfortable when I know what I see. I'm not trying to control this space. I don't want to control this space. I want to feel good inside of my body. And sometimes I have to come up with these things. I have to see these things. These things have to come up into my existence for me to feel it. But how am I going to respond? Am I going to respond in chaos? Am I going to respond in disbelief? Am I going to shrink? Am I going to become low vibrational? Right? The mind of who it is that you are, that is constantly what you are using to bring yourself back into your own presence. Your boundaries are your strategic ways that you create and maintain the homeostasis within yourself. Period. That's it. We can end the video. That's it. The homeostasis is dependent on the boundaries that you set. The homeostasis that you, and I say homeostasis, I mean the leveling. Like, this is where I feel most at peace. You've got to do things to find that, though. Where do you feel most relaxed? What's going on around you when you feel like your nervous system is at rest? Our lives get fun. That's what I call it. Our lives get fun fast, right? I remember being a mother of 3. There was times that my head was spinning. There was so much going on. Sign this paper, take this here. It was fun. I didn't set boundaries around the experience that I was having with my kids, but in comma, there were ways that we navigated the situation within that homeostasis, within that fun, that they knew that there were certain things that they just didn't get to do. And when that does happen, then I get to pull back and say, no, wait, that's not how we do this. How are you feeling in your body when this is going on? Okay, so what can change for you in this moment? What boundary? I taught my kids to establish boundaries. If it feels too chaotic, we pull back. We find out what's happening, because it's important that our nervous systems aren't constantly reading that fun as a response, reading that fun and providing a response, that means we need to flee. We need to get out of here. We're scared, like something's wrong. Nope. We then find out what's going on, right, within our fun lives, within our exciting lives, within our full lives, that support us in really creating that guidance, creating the stages through the maze. You can help your children do that too. Right? This isn't really about just the way that we run our lives, but as leaders in our lives, once we have found something that works, we share that with everyone else. And it's not a 1, 2, 3 system. It's very rare that you get a 1, 2, 3 system in here, because it's about you building your reality. Okay? You are responsible for that. All right? So this space is Trigger to Transform. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Right? This space teaches emotionally, I want to say intelligent, but I really want to say aware women who are leading their lives. Some of us don't subscribe to the word leaders, but we're leading our lives. I think that's something that we can all say yes to. And we're looking at where we are now, how our body is responding to what it is that we are coming up against, or approaching, coming towards, things that have happened now and transgenerationally. Because some of this stuff does not belong to us. We're just carrying it. And when we can get our optical illusions to what's really going on, to realizing that right now in this body, I am safe. Regardless of what's going on, I'm safe. Right? I'm no longer in survival mode. This space is for us to look at our survival patterns. Where have I just been surviving and not placing these boundaries? Where have I been allowing myself to live in this reality and just getting along, going along to get along? Where am I not really positioning myself for the experience that I desire? So this space is for us to reclaim our clarity, learn self-trust, that when I place this thing in my life, when I set this boundary, then I can trust that that's exactly what I need. And I can trust that I can read when this boundary may need to shift a little. I might not need to apply, because what's happening when I'm using this boundary? Is it really allowing my world to expand the way that I desire it to? And am I committing to this boundary out of fear? Truth to self, which leads to our relational power, because we want sustainable, healthy, strong, committed relationships that are in alignment with our desire. Alignment with our desires. You got to find out what your desires are. You got to find out what your core values are. And we can do our work around that. But that would mean that you would need to go down there in that description box and click the link to my calendar to set up a one-on-one. To put all this on paper, to know where you're operating from, for you to build your new operating system. Imagine unpackaging yourself. What was the song? Something about rip me out of package, I'm acting brand new. Yeah, I am, because my operating system has been updated, and every now and again I'm working in operating system 26.2.1, and right now I'm upgrading to 26.1.2. Okay, and that may look a little different. I'm deactivating the bug system. I'm getting all of that out of me, because now I'm operating in the most real, the sovereign version, the evolved version of myself, and it may no longer align with what it is that I was doing. You can't push that button anymore and expect that same response. That button don't work. That's what we're here to do. Okay? And I say that with a lot of, because that's what I mean. That's what I mean. I hope you feel good. I hope you are hearing yourself a little deeper now. I hope what's coming up for you is in a space of change my way. Not because something's wrong, but because you have a choice, and you do not have to keep doing things the way that you've been doing them and expecting a different result, because that's insanity. It is up to us, up to you to determine what your life is going to look like. And that's Triggered to Transform. Like, this is the first time I really felt like I've gotten emotional in the space saying this on today, because I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me, and I want you to feel you. Feel you. Give yourself what you deserve. And stop living in your own shadows. Go back and listen to this again. Right? Am I creating boundaries? Am I trying to control everything around me? And when I'm in trying to control everything around me, what does that look like? Am I using my anger blanket? That's what one of my clients calls it, her anger blanket. Well, I snatched the anger blanket, and now we got to deal with our issues. That's what I do. No more. We're not operating in that. Use your vulnerability to your discretion, but to your advantage. Find out where it resonates within you. That's the call to action today. I'm no longer in control, but I do have boundaries. I do not have to fly into default mode. I create a boundary. I do not have to inflame my nervous system in response to this situation. I create a boundary. I do not have to shrink and cry and be devastated inside of my reality, because I have a choice. With these children, with these men, with these mothers, with these fathers. Okay? You are at choice. Unwavering commitment to yourself for these here 90 days. All right? Be happy wherever you are. Be committed to your journey, your transformation that leads to your evolution, and enjoy every moment of it. I am Goddess Shatoya. Goddess is all I am. I am the many, I'm the one, and I'm so grateful for you. Come back. I'll see you next time.